Hi students, today in this session we are going to discuss some frequently asking questions from the lesson Surface Chemistry. So this topic is from class 12. So now let us have a look on questions one by one. So before going to that, if you are first time to my channel, please subscribe my channel and tap the bell icon. So the first question is, the gold number of protective colloids A, B, C, D are 0.5, 0.01, 0.10 and 0.005 respectively. So the correct order of the protective power is. So in order to solve this type of problems, you have to know the concept of gold number. So that is, if you understand this concept, you can solve any type of this problem, and the next question can also be solved easily by understanding this concept. So let us have a look on the concept of gold number. So if you consider any colloidal solution, so generally there are two types of colloidal solutions. One is lyophilic colloids and lyophobic colloids. Lyophilic colloids and lyophobic colloids. So these lyophilic colloids are generally stable colloids. So these are unstable colloids. So because these lyophilic colloids are unstable, why? Because these lyophobic colloids consist of some electrolytes. So if there is any excess amount of electrolyte is there, then the colloid will be unstable and it will be converted into suspension. Okay. So suppose if you take a colloidal solution, that is Sol or colloidal solution, so then by the excess amount of addition of electrolyte, the colloidal solution will turn off into suspension. The colloidal solution will changes into suspension. So the process of conversion of a colloidal solution into suspension by the excess addition of electrolyte is called coagulation. The process is called coagulation. So that means the colloidal particles will have small size, whereas the suspension particles will have large size. So generally the colloidal solution consists of a size range from 10 power 10 minus 6 to 10 to the power of minus 9 meters. So the size of the colloidal particle is this much. So if the size of the particle is greater than this one, then the solution is called suspension. So that means by the excess addition of any electrolyte, a colloidal solution will turn off into suspension. So that process is called coagulation. So in case of lyophobic colloids, due to presence of excess amount of electrolytes, so they will be converted into suspension. So now we have to protect the lyophobic colloids. So the protection of lyophobic colloids can be done by the addition of small amount of the stable lyophilic colloids. Okay. So the protection of the lyophobic colloids can be done by adding small amount of lyophilic colloids. So how much amount we have to add? How much amount of lyophilic colloid should be added to any lyophobic colloids to protect it from coagulation? So that can be given by gold number. So now let us have a look on gold number. So if you consider a gold solution, this is the gold solution. We are taking a 10 ml of gold solution. This is 10 ml of gold solution. So this gold solution consists of some amount of electrolyte, because if it is a lyophobic colloid, it consists of some amount of electrolyte. So let the amount of electrolyte be here 1 ml of 10% sodium chloride electrolyte is there. So in this colloidal solution, 1 ml of 10% sodium chloride electrolyte is there. So now in order to protect this lyophobic colloid from the coagulation, we have to add some amount of lyophilic colloid, that is protective colloid. This lyophobic colloid is called protective colloid. We are adding some amount of protective colloid. So this amount of protective colloid should always expressed in terms of milligrams. The weight of the lyophilic colloid should always expressed in terms of milligrams. So this much of amount of lyophilic colloid which is to be added to a lyophobic colloid to prevent it from coagulation is called gold number. Okay. So by adding this much amount of lyophilic colloid, we can protect this lyophobic colloid from coagulation. So which amount is added, that is called gold number. Suppose if we add 10 milligrams of liofilic colloid, then it will be prevented from coagulation. Then 10 is the gold number for this solution. Okay, clear? So now let us move on to definition of this gold number. So here the mass of protective colloid in milligrams, the mass of protective colloid in milligrams which prevents the coagulation of 10 cc of gold solution. Here it is 10 ml. 10 ml is nothing but 10 cc cubic centimeters, which prevents the coagulation of 10 cc of gold solution when 1 ml of 10% sodium chloride electrolyte is present in it. Okay, clear? So this is the definition of gold number. So the mass in milligrams of a protective colloid which prevents the coagulation of 10 cc of gold solution when 1 ml of 10% sodium chloride electrolyte is present in it. Okay, clear? So let us have a look on definition. So the mass in milligrams of a protective colloid which prevents the coagulation of 10 cc of gold solution or 10 ml of gold solution, that is gold sol, on adding 1 ml of 10% sodium chloride solution. So here sodium chloride is behaving as electrolyte. Okay, this is the definition of gold number. So here we are adding some electrolyte. Here some electrolyte is present here. So by excess amount of addition of electrolyte, it will be converted into coagulation, suspension. We have already discussed. So that process is called coagulation. Okay. So by the excess addition of electrolyte, the colloid will be converted into suspension. So suppose if you are adding some electrolytes like calcium chloride or sodium chloride and AlCl3, aluminum chloride. So here it is, if it is, the colloids are of again two types, one is positive colloid, other one is negative colloid. Suppose if it is negative colloid, so any one of these ion is responsible for coagulation. So here the electrolytes are these one. So here Na plus ion is responsible for coagulation. In this case Ca plus 2 ion is responsible for coagulation. Here Al plus 3 is responsible for coagulation. Okay. So if it is negative colloid, the opposite ion will be responsible for coagulation. So the ion from the electrolyte which is responsible for coagulation is called fluctuated ion. Okay, fluctuated ion. So the ion from the electrolyte which is responsible for coagulation of a colloidal solution is called fluctuated ion. So here it is negative colloid, then the positive ion will be fluctuated ion. So greater the charge on the fluctuated ion, greater will be the coagulating power. So that is called Hardy-Schulze law. So greater the charge on the fluctuated ion, greater will be the protective power. Greater will be the coagulating power. So if the charge is more, greater will be the coagulating power. So here it is negative colloid. So among these three, which one will be more readily coagulated? The negative colloidal solution. So Al plus 3 will more readily coagulate this negative colloid. So that's why greater the charge on the fluctuated ion, greater will be the coagulating power. So here it has a high tendency of coagulating this colloidal solution. So that is called Hardy-Schulze law. So this concept is also useful for solving some problems. So here we have discussed about gold number, and the second one is Hardy-Schulze law. So greater the charge on the fluctuated ion, greater will be the coagulating power. Okay. So now let us move on to the question. So here the correct order of their protective powers are. So here we have already discussed gold number. So the weight in milligrams. So if less amount of liofilic colloid is added, then it can be easily prevent the coagulation. Then it has high protecting power. So if the gold number is low, the protecting power will be more. Okay. If gold number is low, then protecting power is more. So by adding less amount of liofilic colloid, we can prevent the coagulation. That means the protecting power of this liofilic colloid is more. Okay, clear? So here he asked to arrange this in the correct order of their protecting powers. So if the gold number is less, the protective power is more. So here which one is less? This one. So D is less number, that means it has more protecting power. So D will have more protecting power. So here D will have more protective power. And then next one 0.001 0 1, this one, so that means B, and next this one, this is C, and next one A. So this is the correct order. So C is the correct order of protecting power. And next one, second one. So the coagulating power of an electrolyte having ions Na plus, Al plus 3 and Ba plus 2 for arsenic sulfide sol. So increase in order. Okay, here he gave arsenic sulfide sol, As2, S3. So we have to know whether the arsenic sulfide is positive colloid or negative colloid. So here this is negative colloid, this arsenic sulfide is negative colloid. So this negative colloid can be coagulated by adding an electrolyte which is having positive ion. So here the positive ions are responsible for coagulation. So here he gave the positive ions Na plus, Al plus 3 and Ba plus 2. So according to Hardy-Schulze law, greater the charge on the fluctuated ion. So here these are the fluctuated ions. Greater the charge on the fluctuated ion, greater will be the protecting power. So here this will have more protecting power. Sorry, here will it have more coagulating power. More coagulating power but not protecting power. Here it has more coagulating power, and then this one and then this one. So the correct order is Al plus 3 should be more. So the correct order is this one, Al plus 3, next Ba plus 2 and next Na plus. So it will have less coagulating power. Okay, and next one. So here you have to remember this colloid is negative colloid or positive colloid. Here I am giving you a small trick to remember this positive colloids and negative colloids simply. So here is a trick for you to remember the positive and negative colloids. So just take a screenshot here. First take a screenshot on positive colloids, and next one negative colloids. So now let us discuss. So here positive colloids, that is positive sols. Sol is nothing but colloid. So you have to remember like this: the metal oxides and hydrated metal oxides belongs to positive sols. The metal oxides and hydrated metal oxides belongs to positive sols. Metal oxides and hydrated metal oxides. Okay, and basic dyestuffs, that is methylene blue. Basic methylene blue. You have to remember like this: basic and methylene blue belongs to positive colloids, and blood also belongs to positive colloid. So hemoglobin, blood, blue, basic, positive. You have to remember like this: blood means hemoglobin. So generally blood consists of two RH factors, one is plus and minus. So which one is generally more? So generally positive RH factor is more, A positive, B positive, like that. So rarely there are A negative and B negative. So that's why you have to remember like this. So hemoglobin, blood, basic and positive colloid. Okay, you have to remember like this: B and blood B, positive sol. And the oxides and metal oxides and hydrated metal oxides. So these belongs to positive sols. Okay, so by knowing this, you can easily remember these positive sols. And next one. So here metal oxides and hydrated metal oxides, and but here metals and metal sulfides. So negative sols means metals and metal sulfides. So all these metals and metal sulfides. So here it is arsenic sulfide. So in this question arsenic sulfide is there, that is negative sol, and cadmium sulfide. And next one, so opposite to this one, here it is basic and here it is acidic dye. Acidic dye means Congo red and eosin. And next one, starch, gum, gelatin. So general colloids, these are starch, general colloids, and charcoal. So all these are belongs to negative colloids. So by taking this chart, you can screenshot of this chart, you can easily remember this. Okay, and move on to next question. So which of the following statement is incorrect regarding physical adsorption? So generally, you know differences between physical and chemical adsorptions. So if you go through with that content, you can easily solve this problem. So it occurs because of van der Waals forces. It is correct, because there exist physical forces between adsorbate and adsorbent. If there is some valency forces, that is called chemical adsorption. Here van der Waals forces are physical forces, so that's why it is physical adsorption. This is correct. Here he asked to find incorrect statement. And more easily liquefying gases are adsorbed readily. It is also correct. If the gases will be more readily liquefied, then it can easily adsorbed. It is also correct. And under high pressure, it results into multi-layer adsorption. The physical adsorption is multi-layer adsorption. It is also correct. And enthalpy adsorption is low. Here enthalpy adsorption is low. It is also correct. In case of physical adsorption, enthalpy of adsorption is low, whereas in case of chemical adsorption enthalpy is more, and it is positive he gave. So this is not correct, it is negative. So generally the adsorption process, the enthalpy delta H should be negative. Why it is negative? So here, due to adsorption, suppose adsorption means the adsorption of gas molecules, accumulation of gas molecules or liquid molecules on the surface of another solid. So here, during adsorption, the residual forces on the surface will be decreases due to unbalanced forces which is present on the exterior part of the adsorbent. So the adsorption takes place. Okay. So due to adsorption, the residual forces on the surface will be decreased. So the decrease in surface energy can be emitted in the form of energy. So due to decrease in residual forces, it will emit some amount of energy. So that means it is an exothermic process. So adsorption is an exothermic process. Therefore, the change in enthalpy delta H should always negative. But he gave it is positive. So this is the incorrect statement. Okay, clear? Next one. So bleeding of blood is stopped due to coagulation of blood by applying FeCl3 and blood vessels is sealed. So here he gave the coagulation. So coagulation means by adding excess amount of electrolyte, the colloidal solution will convert it into suspension. So here by adding FeCl3, this is an electrolyte. So by adding FeCl3, the blood will be coagulated and the blood vessels will be sealed. So this is correct. And coagulation of blood is coagulation of blood by applying alum. So this alum means this is nothing but potash alum, K2SO4, Al2SO4 thrice, and 24 water molecules will be there. So here it is the formula of alum. So this is also act as electrolyte. So that's why here also the prevention of bleeding takes place. That means coagulation of blood takes place. So here it is also correct. So C option, both A and B are correct. So and blood combines with alum, this is not correct. So blood does not combines with alum, but it will prevent the bleeding only by coagulation. Okay. So this is the correct answer. So this entire lesson is most conceptual. So if you understand the concept properly, then you can solve any problem or any question. Okay. Here is a small question for you. Give any example for lyophobic colloid. Lyophobic colloid. So give any example for lyophobic colloid. So this will comment me on comment box. Comment the answer in comment box. Okay. Thank you. Like the session, share the session and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.